How's it going, guys? I want to talk about the Civil War, where it all starts, uh, and, and how it has affected our day today. It's 2023, right? 2023, boom, boom. 2023, uh, 7, 19, right? 19, boom. 7/19/2023. Horrible handwriting. All right. So, in the time of the Civil War, uh, it's been 100 years. We, since the last video and basically what I've discussed, we've already established this is our country, and, we've basically took the lands, however you proceed to look at it. And now, there's the split, there's the divide. There's this side that wants slavery. There's this side that's against slavery. We'll put a big old N, put a big old S right there. And now we have our Civil War, right? What people don't know or don't remember is that this side is the fire is fueled by wealth, okay? Wealth. Okay? Common. We'll put common up here because I spelled common wrong. Common. Put masses. Masses. These are regular people. These are country people. These are where when the Pilgrims were in establishing these old countries, these old southern racist countries, right? So in this war versus each other, North versus South, this was fueled by the wealth. This was fueled by the common masses who wanted just and right for everybody. What we forget is that this side, the country's divided. This side is not only powered by the wealthy, but it has people willing to do what they're told by the wealthy people, whether they believed in it or not. Whether they believed in racism, which they most likely did, because it kind of shows to this day, a lot of them, or not, they still fought in this war versus us. They were still willing to go to the war with us for as long as they were. So what people forget is that when the North won and they took out the South, the Union beat them. They said, let's let bygones be bygones. We're gonna work together, right? The South's like, you know what? We are all one, okay? Wrong. They took away the North, they took away the South, we're the United States, but there was still the wealthy, there was still the common masses, there was the common people, right? Well, after the Union beat the Confederates, they were handcuffing them, they were locking up the families, they were documenting them. There's books of Confederate families, right? You can go look it up. And I believe that's where the sort of retaliation came whenever everybody was united afterwards, and that's where necessarily the South realized they had to get national control. So they started implementing, their police force with them being ran by their people, by their chiefs, by their generals. That's why they try to adopt that soldier talk and call themselves this and that. When in reality, after we beat them in the war, the wealthy South, who acted like the best interest in was for the nature, corporatized corporatized America. So we can't violate the people because of the Constitution, right? So what they did was they made this whole place. Let me stay with the lines. They made this whole place into a business. Okay? So your cops, you became product within the business. And your cops became the security guards, right? Security will put a big old star right there because that's what they got on their badges. Boom, boom, boom. So that's why the people of that day didn't let cops mess with them. You couldn't get arrested. You couldn't be brought in. Da 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 da. So they corporatized, the South corporatized America to try to legally be able to strip you of your rights, be able to treat you how they treat you, and do what they do to you, right? I got the note right here. If you guys want the facts, I'll give you the facts right here. 1871, after the Civil War Act of 1871, what incorporated the United States via WADC by Washington, District of Columbia. These guys way over here, the ones who did it. All corporations have corporate charters, aka businesses, have rules and operate within those guidelines. So each individual state, aka corporate associate of the corporation, Washington District of Columbia, this is how they took away our rights by sleight of hand and started using their own system. Is what allows you to sue them as well because they made it a corporation. Sue them for criminally violating your rights. That way you continue to the rights that you continue to give away. Black's Law Dictionary, 4th edition, 4th and 5th are the best because they kind of divulge into this honestly and give you the best definitions. Because they're changed in the books to throw people off. Even Google hides information. You can look this up. This is a fact. Google don't give you the right definition. Google don't give you the right sources. It gives you fake pages with fake results and or fake definitions, especially these law groups. So use Black Law's book, 4th and 5th editions. They're considered the gold standard, okay? I'm trying to be fast. I know you guys don't like these long videos. It's a lot of information. But you got to remember, we beat them. So they made a plot to enslave all of us. They're like, all right, you don't want to let these people be slaves? We'll enslave all of you. They made a corporation. They made you a product. And it was our own people that did this. But in doing so, they did this, right? Our people did this to enslave us, right? In doing so, they opened the doorway. Whoop. Look at this door. Open the door. Look at this door up here. Open the door. Open the door. Right? You got Japan down there. And these empires, you have England. We'll put a big old E over here. England. You know, we'll put a big old R for Russia, and you put Canada over here. Even though it'd be over there, but I have my words right there. The redcoats are back in blue, trademarked by your boy. Not necessarily, not really, but I'm gonna trademark that. That's my shit right there. You heard it here first. The redcoats are back in blue. Gonna be on my shirts. Well, in Canada, Russia, you have all these places. They open doorways for these empires who have been around for hundreds of years, if not thousands. I don't know. I don't really care about them. Based on how the people act and how they allow themselves to be treated. You know, who's going to call a kingdom, queen or the mother, right? We don't do that. We're free. We're Americans. We're independent. What you guys fail to realize is how it was done to you, how it was incorporated, why these cops would do that. So it opened the doorways for these places to come and buy out politicians, buy out people, manipulate, blackmail. Send soldiers to pop up to someone's big old house in the night, and boom, now you're gonna do what we say. And or they had tactics of not necessarily like cloning, but they disguised people as other people until those people got caught and whatever. Even to this day, I think George Washington and Benjamin Franklin were Freemasons. So you gotta watch out for who's leading the cause, who's taking us in what directions. And sometimes the people we think are there, that are going to help are planted to gain what information we know and see what direction we're heading into as the masses, right? As the people, as a collective. So what have I said? We beat the South. The South corporatized America. That way, we all became products with the number. They waited 100 years, though. Or not 100 years. That was after the Constitution. I take that back. But after we beat the South, they corporatized it, which opened doorways for politicians and people to be bought out. And slowly but surely, England has got its grasp. So now we have the illusion of living in the USA, We have the illusion of freedom, but because these guys chose to be dirty, slowly but surely, our people are bought out. You know, you got China buying people, you got England buying people. They could wait years. They were already waiting hundreds of years. They were already putting people here to be born, to live, to be raised, to grow up, and go into the to go and do their agenda, right? And we see that today. We catch people today being bought out, being paid for, all this shit, right? Money laundering today from the governments. And this is where it started. We beat them. They tried to enslave us. And whether they were already working with these other places and or the operation was overtook or overrun, that's what happened. So now we live basically in one big corporate system, as you all know, but you didn't know how it worked. You didn't know how they did it. You didn't know why they did it. That's why they did it. That's how it works. We are considered a corporation. You can look it up. All states, all places, anything government is a corporation. And that's why they're allowed to treat you like the products you are until you deem yourself alive in the eyes of the law. I just kind of wanted to cover that so you knew how it came to be, what came from it. What did I say? Union beat the South. The North beat the South. We cuffed them. We arrested them. Them, their families, and who knows what people did to get their vengeance on them, right? So all these wealthy families remember that. They remember the mistreatment. They remember what happened to their ancestors, their parents, yada, yada. So they, assumably, this is opinionated, started to take over, or implement their police stations. I don't know if they were everywhere or if they just started sending them out to get control. But we do know they corporatized America right after that. We do know that that's when we became product. We do know that slowly but surely laws were made and they somehow switched over to maritime law when we're supposed to be under the sun. We're supposed to be on the land, strong and free, right? So keep that in mind. A long time ago, our ancestors beat the bad, and the bad have secretly found a way to gain back their control. England has secretly found a way to regain what seems like they have control. It's only based on the fact that we got to go and deem ourselves alive and that we're lost at sea. Basically after our revolution, they would deem us lost at sea since, we came over the seas and we broke off. So you got to deem yourselves alive in the courts. And the whole reason why I said they had the control is because this whole system is adopted from England. The courts, the laws, all that shit, we adopted it from them and we try to apply it to us. I don't know when we adopted it. I'm assuming in this later stages after it was corporatized. Because, we had the Constitution, which was freedom, and they waited all these years before they started doing it. But they had time. They had nothing but time, people. So keep that in mind. The Redcoats are back. Civil War, where it all started, how they corporatized it, why they corporatized it, why these cops were trained to be racist, because they were led by racists, right? So now we have our own people growing up and becoming cops, being taught these racist tactics, racist methods, racist mindset, all because of where does it come from? The South. Where does it start? The South. Who corporatized America? The South. Who allowed it? The masses. Who does nothing? The masses. Who sees nothing? The masses. Who's ignorant and continues to be peasants? The masses. The masses, the masses, the masses. I need you. We need each other. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay loved. God bless.